George of the jungle, strong as he can be.
So when is junk mail really not junk? That's what we're going to be discussing in the creditjungle.com today. This is George Anderson. Thanks for dropping in. And as everyone knows, I spend a lot of my time working with people who are establishing or reestablishing their credit scores, having come off of some sort of, financial circumstance or whatever, or they're just young and they're just getting started in life. But I often ask them, are you getting pre-approved credit card offers in the mail? And for most of these people, invariably the answer is yes. And they're like, well, we just think it's a scam, so we just throw them away. Well, they're really not scams. And let me explain what's going on so that you can understand the backstory of how these pre-approved credit card offers come to be. So as a lender, and this is whether you're a mortgage lender, if you're a car dealer, if you issue credit cards, whatever you do, you can subscribe to Experian's Prescreened list service. That is a service that gives you some incredible dynamics and demographic information on a borrower. I mean, not way beyond just name, address, and things of that nature. But they can actually imply, they can't verify it directly, but they can imply your age, they can imply your income, your level of education, just all different types of things. And they additionally will know exactly what your credit score is because they are doing a soft pull. So that soft pull will tell them that, okay, you can sit there and say, hey, I want to get people that don't own a home and they're in the 600 to, or maybe the 550 to 620 credit score range, and we're going to make them a firm offer of credit based on their score. So they already know your credit profile. The only thing that they need to verify is just that you're a live person and that you have a job, that you have employment that they can verify. If you can do that, they're going to issue you credit. Now, normally it's going to be a modest amount of credit, maybe a $500 limit to get started out with. But the idea is, though, is that you are now having on your credit report, you are having a national bank credit card. We've talked about this before with the reason codes, that the reason codes, the credit scoring algorithm will reward you with a national bank credit card account in much more generous ways than if you're getting a local credit union or a department store credit card, something like that, that's based on merchandise purchases, or it's a smaller bank. So if you're going to start reestablishing your credit, do it with something where you're going to get the most bang for the buck. So when you have those accounts, again, if you're just starting from scratch, it's going to take 6 reporting cycles or 6 months before you are going to have a mortgage FICO Classic 04 version credit score. Now, if you have Credit Karma and you're using Vantage Score, which is the system that Credit Karma uses, you're going to get an immediate improvement in your credit score as soon as they issue the card. Okay? But on the FICO side of it, they want to see, well, what do you actually do with it now that you have it? So what do you do with it when you have it? Well, you need to use it first of all, and you need to use it every month, and you need to develop a habit of using the card and then paying off the balance. But the issue is you don't ever want to use more than 10% of your available credit. Remember, if you already have a lot of trade lines established, you can use a higher percentage of your credit lines and not have it affect your score. But if you're starting out from scratch, you're going to need to keep below that 10% threshold on there. So anyway, this is good advice for people who are trying to get back into the game, reestablish or establish their credit scores. Those pre-approved offers, they are not junk mail. They're actually a very valuable tool with very little effort that you can activate and use for yourself as a tool to get yourself back into the credit score game, which you're always going to be better off with a higher credit score than with no credit score at all. And it doesn't just apply to the mortgage loans. It's going to be your insurance, it's going to be vehicle loans, and almost anything else that you have. So hopefully that's helpful advice for you. Remember, you can push button, and I think it's actually over on this side of the screen here. Get Mortgage Professional. My name's George Anderson. This is thecreditjungle.com, and I'd love to talk with you about your situation. Have a great day.